Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are LA.
Gorgeous afternoon for baseball here at the Big A. The Halos and the Texas Rangers getting ready to wrap up this three-game set. Hi, everybody, from inside the Big A, and alongside my broadcast partner, Mark Gubers. I'm Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us once again for Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. And this afternoon, the Halos go for the series sweep over the Texas Rangers. Overall, it's been a very good homestand, splitting that four-game set against the Rays, but even going back a couple of weeks, the last couple of weeks has been fantastic for the Angels.
Last 15 games, Victor, everything seems to be coming together. The pitching staff, the fielding, the clutch hitting, and the timely hitting for the ball club. Team ERA during the 15-game stretch, in which they're 12-3, only Boston has a similar record in all of Major League Baseball. Well under 3 with the team ERA. The bullpen, which earlier in the season was certainly an issue, been pitching much better, been ahead of the count, fielding the baseball, and again, coming back to that big issue. Getting hits with runners in scoring position been much better. And one of the guys that's been swinging the bat better during this entire streak, especially of late, Mark Trumbo. Got a slider game 1 here against Texas. Puts it out for a 3-run home run. Great swing on that baseball, timely swing, and then yesterday hits a fastball, and he hit that ball about as far as you could hit a baseball. 2-run home run, 5 RBIs in this series, 2 home runs for Mark Trumbo. So he's driving the ball. Power hitters, when they're streaky, can carry the club. Hopefully he's got another game in him today, especially in a day game here at the Big A.
Yeah, the Halos have been coming from behind quite a bit during this streak. Let's see if they can keep it going today, as Nick Tepesh will take the mound for the Texas Rangers, and the Halos will counter with the left-hander Jason Vargas, looking to bounce back after a rough outing against the Rays. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return.
play something with lots of feeling, 'cause that's where music has to start.
We welcome you back out to the Big A, the finale of this three-game set between the Halos and the Texas Rangers. The Angels looking for the series sweep over Texas. Having taken the first two games of this series on Friday night, it was a 6-5 victory. Last night, 8-3, and both occasions coming from behind. On the Friday night, it was down 3-0. Last night, 1-0, and eventually made it stick as Garrett Richards pitched a fantastic game of picking up his 6th win. Halos have taken the field here wearing their pearly white home uniforms. We'll check out Ron Washington's starting 9 for the Rangers, who roll into this game, a game and a half back in the West now, with Oakland leading the division. 80-61 mark. Ian Kinsler will lead things off for the first time of this series. He's at second base. Elvis Andrews at short. Alex Rios jumps up to the 3 spot. He's in right. Adrian Beltre slated to start at DH tonight, but they changed it. He's getting to start at third base. Jeff Baker at first. Giovanni Soto behind the plate. Craig Gentry at left. Jurickson Profar was going to start at third. He's now the DH. And Leonis Martin batting 9th in center field. Taking on the left-hander Jason Vargas. Looking to bounce back after that start, looking for win number 9.
Yeah, he had a tough one out there last time out against the Tampa Bay Rays, but very good overall at home this season, 5-2 with an ERA 3.80. Overall has won 8 games and has lost 3 in his career pitching here at the Big A with a very solid 3.18 ERA. Loves pitching here at home.
Defensively for the Angels behind Jason Vargas, you have J.B. Shuck in left, Mike Trout in center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield consists of Andrew Romine, Eric Ibar, Grant Green, and Mark Trumbull from third to first. Hank Conger behind the plate.
Going with their Hyundai key to the game. Speaking of defense, from a glove in an elevator. I'm looking for Mike Trout to make one of those spectacular plays. It's going to be the defense that I feel is going to win this game, especially on a hot day game. Baseball will be carrying. Look for a defensive play being the key for a Halo victory.
Did you clear that with Steven Tyler when we saw him at the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee?
Yes, because we saw him in an elevator.
You just kind of just waved to him and said, "I'm doing this"?
Yes.
Whether you like
That's
it or
how
not.
I roll.
Take exception.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Kinsler ready to lead things off here. Glorious afternoon for baseball. Another warm one. Certainly not as muggy as it was a couple of days ago. Kinsler hitting .273 with 11 home runs and 58 runs batted in last night. Ended up going 1 for 4 with a single. Texas managing 9 hits overall. The Angels with 11. The first one is a strike. Vargas in that start against Tampa Bay just could not find that outside part of the plate as Kinsler fouls it off to the right. He kept going back to the well trying to figure it out. It just never came around for him.
Yeah, the key for him, especially with his changeup, he's got a very good, a plus changeup, is having that ability to spot his fastball away and spot the fastball inside also. But when you don't have command of your fastball, they lay off the changeup.
That one missed inside. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. He ended up going 4 innings, giving up 5 runs on 10 hits. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks through 80 pitches. That's an off-speed pitch down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rangers in the first 2 games of the series have scored first. Scored in the first inning last night, the night before in the second inning. Both occasions, the Angels answering right back. Kinsler a swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch, 1 down.
And he went back-to-back changeup. The first one didn't have a real good feel for that one. He certainly did. Perfect location, 79 on his changeup. Good balance, great location. Back-to-back with the circle changeup. Exmo will show the rotation and running away from a right-handed batter. Again, changeup, a feel pitch. Good to see him throwing that early in the game.
So here's Elvis Andrews, the shortstop. Multi-hits in the first 2 games of the series. 2 for 5 Friday. Last night 2 for 4. A single and a double and a run scored. That first one's down low. .266 overall average with a couple of home runs and 51 runs batted in. So he looks at a strike. Field and Culbreth calling the balls and strikes this afternoon.
Always remember him as a guy who will call strikes. Borderline on the corners.
In the air, shallow right field. Grant Green backpedaling out. 2 outs. Boy, if those swings continue, it'll be a good day for Jason Vargas.
And his whole key is keeping hitters off balance, and by doing so, you have to be able, like we mentioned, spot his fastball well. Because then, when they start looking fastball, then you can throw slow curveball, very solid changeup. But if you're not able to throw fastballs for a strike, they can look off speed against you.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Alex Rios, the batter, and he'll look at a strike. Rios 1 for 4 last night with a single in the 9th inning. .279 average overall. This is his 26th game as a member of the Texas Rangers. And he drives one out toward left field. J.B. Shuck drifting back at the wall, and that is gone. It's just like he did on Friday night. Rios puts Texas up 1-0 here in the first.
And Rios was just 3 for 16 in his career versus Vargas.
So the Halos will play from behind once again.
Well, that was supposed to be a fastball down and away. It was elevated in the inner half and jumps on it. 4-seam fastball becomes a hittable fastball when it's not located well, especially not overpowering.
Adrian Beltre takes the breaking ball down low.
And the 14th home run that Vargas has allowed this season, all 14 versus right-handed batters.
Beltre fouls it back to even up the count. .319 average for Beltre, 28 home runs and 84 runs batted in. Just missed in. And 2 balls and a strike. Texas with a 1-0 lead on the Rios home run. 16th of the year. 66th RBI. This one's out to right. Cole Calhoun playing back is there. And the top of the first is in the books, but not before the Rangers strike for a run on the Rios home run. It'll be Shuck, Ivar, and Trout for the Angels, down 1-0. The lineup that Mike Scioscia's running out there this afternoon. Halos 12-3 over the last 15 games. Now 67-74 record. Have J.B. Shuck leading things off at left. Ibar at short. Mike Trout at center. Hamilton the DH. Cole Calhoun at right field. Mark Trumbo has homered back-to-back games. Is at first base. Hank Conger behind the plate. Grant Green at second. Andrew Romine getting to start at third base with the injured Luis Jimenez, taking on the 24-year-old right-hander native of Blue Springs, Missouri, by the name of Nick Tepesh.
Nick Tepesh, fastball 89-93. Cut fastball. There's quite a few cut fastballs. Curveball, changeup. Left-handed batter's hitting .305 with 9 home runs against Tepesh. The righty's only .217 with 2 home runs.
J.B. Shuck ready to lead things off for the Halos, down 1-0. J.B. hitting .291. Couple of home runs, 38 runs batted in. Had a multi-hit game last night. Double and a single. Also picked up an RBI, and he scored a run. Jammed him. Flares it foul. It's an 0-2 count.
Went from a four-seam fastball to a cut fastball. You're going to see a lot of cut fastballs from Tepesh today.
That missed down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Halos with the wins so far on this homestand. Now 35-39 here at home. 24-35 against Western Division opponents. As JB rips one down the line. Over to cut it off is Rios. He does so, and he'll keep JB at first base. So the leadoff man on for the Angels. Check out the Texas Rangers defensively tonight, or this afternoon I should say. Gentry, Martin, and Rios in the outfield from left to right. The infield has Beltre, Andrews, Kinsler, and Baker from third to first. Soto behind the plate.
Craig Gentry out in left field has played a number of games in center field, has tremendous coverage as far as fly balls, very strong throwing arm himself. 5 outfield assists this entire outfield for the Rangers. Very difficult to take an extra base, as you can see there right away with J.B. Shuck, and Rios out and right cut that one off and prevented a double.
Ibar looks at his strike as he shows bunt. Eric hitting .272, 27 doubles, 4 triples, 5 home runs, 50 runs batted in. 1 for 4 game last night. A double and a run scored. Also had a beautiful sacrifice bunt that Beltre actually made a terrific play on. Breaking balls, cut on and missed.
Pretty good curveball, Tepesh. He's allowed 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts. Soto's thrown out 24% of would-be base stealers. I see some action in this game for the Angels against the Rangers again.
Checking in on J.B. Shuck over at first. J.B. with 5 stolen bases, has been caught 4 times. Good lead for him at first. This one's tapped foul. Slow breaking pitch. Plays off a tough pitch. 1-2.
Trying to be quick. Slide step. Tepesh never faced. No record against the Angels. So certainly to his advantage early on. And then hitters adjust to him as they see him more. And he can get as many scouting reports as possible, but the reality is you want to see and read the baseball out of his hand.
Lays off. Almost got his back leg. Sharp breaking pitch down at it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tepesh wants to do baseball. Texas with a run in the first. Alex Rios with a home run. Shuck takes off. Ibar swinging a miss. The throw down to second. One hops. Elvis Andrews. And it's a stolen base for JB. In scoring position with 1 out.
Picked the right pitch, anticipating something off speed. Good jump by Shuck. Steals his 6th base. Low throw from Soto, gets his hand in scoring position now for Mike Trout.
Trout, a .338 batting average. 23 home runs, 84 runs batted in. 1 for 4 game last night. Takes outside. We pointed out another warm, sunny afternoon here in the Southland. That one's off the plate. 2-0.
You can see the approach for Tepesh against Trout, staying away, back-to-back fastballs away. And very successful against right-handed batters. His .217 batting average against righties. 9th best in the American League.
Three balls and no strikes. Josh Hamilton on deck.
Now the Trout's in a run-producing position. Leadoff hitter. Most times you're going to say he'll take 3-0. In this spot, number 3 hitter in the lineup, one of the most consistent hitters, green light him.
And that's way outside. Wanted no part of him. So 1 out walk puts 2 men on base for Josh. Soto goes down, talks things over with Tepesh. Hamilton last night ended up going 1 for 3 with a single and a walk.
Well, this is what you want in this situation when Hamilton, a left-handed batter with power up against Tepesh. A difficult time keeping the ball in the ballpark against left-handed batters, especially a power-hitting left-handed batter.
First one on the way. Looks at a strike on the inside corner. Texas over shifting. Andrews just on the second base side of the bag. Belcher has to stay closer to third with the man at second base. That's JB Shuck at second. Trout at first. A good speed on the bases for the Angels. Down 1-0 here in the first. Breaking pitch rolled foul.
A lot of room in left center field and even down the left field line for Hamilton. More likely the approach is going to be cut fastballs in, slow curveballs in.
Broken bat bouncer towards second. Kinsler flips it to Andrews. Fired to first and inning-ending double play. Very similar to the at-bat that he had last night. First time up. One complete. Texas on top 1-0.
We'll check out the big news from around the majors on our Carl's Jr. Sports Update.
Straight off the ticker.
There's a lot of stuff happening in Major League Baseball again today.
Baker, Soto, and Gentry here against Jason Vargas. The Halos down 1-0. Baker getting to start at first base once again. He's over there against C.J. Wilson Friday night. He's batting in the 7th spot of the order. Ended up going 0 for 2. 2 double play balls and a walk. .293 average for Baker, has 11 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Lifted in the air to shallow right. That ball drifting out there.
And the baseball is seriously carrying today.
That seemed like it was off the end of the bat.
Even Beltre's baseball that he hit the end of last inning didn't hit real well, but yet got back close to the warning track. Good to get Baker out hitting .345 against left-handed pitching. Hot weather, day games, baseball flies anyhow, but the heat, good day to be a power hitter, or any hitter for that matter.
Giovanni Soto hitting .220, getting to start today with A.J. Brzezinski having caught the first 2 games.
We remember him down in Texas. Likes everything on the inner half of the plate to stay away. Off speed, 2-seam fastballs away.
One ball, 2 strikes.
And these are the times after back-to-back changeups like that, you can try to paint a fastball away and down. You can freeze them.
Just missed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good idea right there. Two. Again, trying to come back inside. Full count. Soto pulls one into left field, a base hit. Slow breaking ball. Second hit allowed by Vargas. Puts a man on, and it'll bring up Gentry. Hey, folks, September 20th is the last Wells Fargo Big Bang Friday of the season after the Halos take on the Mariners at 7:05. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or log on at angels.com and enjoy a spectacular post-game fireworks show
On Friday.
Big Bang Friday. That'll be the last homestand of the season.
See that breaking ball, DeSoto came in the inner half of the plate, and he's quick on that pitch. A changeup or fastball away against him. That's something that Jason will keep in mind as the game progresses when Soto comes back around in the order.
Gentry takes inside for ball one. .258 average for Gentry. 2 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Very good speed. That one's on the corner. Soto over at first base with a 1-out single. Out back. 1-2.
Wonderful come back now with a changeup. Gentry does 3 for 16 versus Vargas. A lot of success on his changeup away against him.
Swing and a miss. Got him on that off-speed pitch. 2 down. Second strikeout for Jason.
Well, you had him set up perfectly, especially with the fastball away earlier in the at-bat. Now changeup running away from him. Did a good job of keeping that front shoulder in and turning over his changeup, getting a swing and miss. Second punch out of the game for Vargas.
So 2 outs and a man on for Jerks and Profar. Switch hitting DH. Originally slated to get to start at third base with Beltre serving as a DH, but they flip-flopped that before the game. That's got Beltre written all over.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that wants to play every day, and he wants to play in the field every day.
Off the end of the bat, foul. 0-2.
Good play by a fan.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes. Soto still at first base. 1-0 Texas here in the second, and Profar takes upstairs. One, 2. Downstairs again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trying to get those quick outs that we were talking about last night.
Especially when you're ahead 0-2, that high fastball for effect is very good if you're a guy that has a big 12-6 curveball. But for Vargas, it's not as effective for him.
And an off speed gets Profar to end the inning. So back-to-back strikeouts, and we'll head to the bottom of the second with Texas leading at 1-0. Drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Eat a lot of cotton candy.
Oh, there's no doubt. Very good, especially on a hot day.
Get the non-sticky version now.
Oh, yeah.
1-0. Texas leads it here, the bottom of the second. Rios with a home run in the first. Calhoun, Trumbo, and Conger for the Angels in the second, facing Nick Tepesh. A couple of base runners on board of the first inning via single and a walk, but then Hamilton rolled into an inning-ending double play. Cole hitting .263, 5 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Ahead of the count at 1 ball, no strikes. Cole in the starting lineup Friday night. 1 for 4 with an RBI single. Rips this one out to right field, hitting well. Rios moving back on it, pulls up. That is gone. A big fly for Cole Calhoun. And we're tied at 1.
Boy, Cole Calhoun jumped on that elevated pitch and drives it out to right center field. His 6th home run, 20th RBI. 10th home run allowed by Tepesh against left-handed batters. Boy, he jumped on that one. Great balance through his swing. Momentum going forward. Back-legged it, drives it out of the ballpark.
Evens things up here in the second inning. And here's Mark Trumbo, gets a nice ovation. The home crowd. Back-to-back nights in which he has homered, 30th and 31st of the year. .235 average is 89 runs batted in. Tepesh painting on that outside corner, 0-2.
It's a nearly impossible pitch to hit if you're Trumbo or any right-handed batter. That's going to be called a strike. Look at our home run leaders in the American League. Chris Davis still leads the American League with 48. Miguel Cabrera 43. Edwin Encarnacion, we're going to see him in a couple days with 36. And Mark Trumbo 4th with 31.
Count remains at 0 balls, 2 strikes.
Cole Calhoun has some good power. You make a mistake, there's a good chance that baseball is going to be screaming off the bat. Oh, looked like it almost got his jersey.
Yeah. Saw Mark kind of looking back at Field and Colbert there. Did he go? He did. Jordan Baker, the first base umpire, rings him up. Strikeout number 2 for Tepesh. That's the first out here in the second.
See if indeed Trumbo went. Side view. Yep, across the plate.
One out, nobody off for Hank Conger. Hank with 7 home runs, 20 RBIs. Takes a slow breaking pitch a little bit high. .256 overall batting average. Has 12 doubles and 1 triple.
Boy, Tepesh seems to slow down his delivery on his slow breaking ball. Better opportunity if you're a hitter to track that baseball.
That one caught the inside corner, 1-1. Tepesh mentioned just 24 years of age, 14th round pick in 2010 out of the University of Missouri. Won't hold that against him.
Missouri?
Missouri. Grew up in Blue Springs, just outside of Kansas City. Rolled off the body.
That's where all the old school Kansas City Royals used to live, in Blue Springs.
Yeah, when we first moved there from Florida, I was a young lad. That's where That's where we ended up. Dick Tidrow's house in Blue Springs, Missouri.
That was a good mustache, didn't he?
Oh, well, he wasn't. The mustache wasn't at the house. It was just the house. Yeah.
He didn't leave it there for you?
No.
To be able to clean up the floors?
Might have been some remnants, but no. Downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Then we eventually moved over on the Kansas side as we built our house. I just wanted to clarify.
You sure this mustache wasn't still there?
Case.
It was quite a mustache.
2-2. Down and in. That actually hit him. Hit by pitch. Just that slow breaking ball. That's the one that almost got Ibar in the first inning. Let's go and check out our AT&T Twitter poll question of the series. And there's a pretty good mustache in this AT&T Twitter poll question as well. Which celebrity look-alike is a closer match? Josh Hamilton, Bobby Flay, Mike Trout, Matt Barkley, or Mike Maddox and Frank Zappa? Here, the look at the pictures. And as of last night, the Hamilton-Trout comparisons were even at 25% of the vote. And then this one right here, leading the charge.
Yeah, I think Mike Trout likes that one, though. Him and Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley, quarterback for his favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
How the Eagles do?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yes.
Not really.
Seriously?
We're going to be busy in Minneapolis watching the game. Calling a game.
Yes. Yes, we will.
You'll one night into Minneapolis and then off to Toronto.
And it's going to be nice and toasty there in Minneapolis also.
Green fouls it back, and it's an 0-2 count. It's supposed to be 90?
97.
97. But it's a dry heat.
Yeah, there's no humidity up there in Minneapolis. Not at all. And that is a retractable dome, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They forgot to do that.
Yeah, what was it? -20 when we were up there in April, and now it's 97. Great stadium.
That is beautiful.
Gorgeous. Think Blyleven will be there? This one's out to right field. Rios comes in. Puts it away for 2 outs.
Yeah, Matt Birch should be there, I would imagine.
Yeah. Tomorrow's supposed to be a scheduled off day, but with that snow out back in April, makeup game is tomorrow. Game will be on at 4 o'clock. We'll kick things off with Angels Live at 3:30. And then after the game, fly right up to Toronto. 3-game setup there. Thankfully, it's just a 3-game set. It always seems like we're playing 4-game sets in September.
And always night games in Toronto.
It gets us through customs that much quicker at night, though.
Yes.
There's Andrew Romine. Takes down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Romine getting to start this afternoon at third base for Luis Jimenez, who was taken out of the game. A sore right thumb. Remember Luis last night hit by a pitch. Ended up coming out of the game early. Andrew took over. Andrew with a right-hander on the mound starting today.
Yeah, both thumbs for Jimenez are sore. One from the head first slide into home, and the next one from the pitch that hit him. Tommy Fields up here now just in case. If not, if Jimenez cannot improve over the next day or so, if he does though, Tommy Field will go back to AAA. They're in the championship round for AAA.
Playing Omaha. 2-0 pitch. Romine takes low. 3 balls, no strikes. Leadoff man J.B. Shock on deck. Tied at 1 here in the second. Cole Calhoun with a leadoff home run. 6th of the year to knot this one up at 1 apiece.
Socha has as many left-handed bats as possible in this lineup against Tepish.
Get it over fastball. 3 balls and a strike. As a starter this year, Tepish 4-6 with a 4.85 ERA. Just under 4 innings as a reliever. Romine bounces it to second. Ian Kinsler has it. And this second inning is in the books. Cole Calhoun ties things up. 6th of the year, picks up his 20th. Right down and in. Fly ball that got out of here in right field. We're through 2. We're tied at 1.
Texas.
Again, this third evened up at 1. 9-1 and 2 for Texas. Martin, Kinsler, and Andrews to face Jason Vargas, who has 3 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed, a home run to Rios, and a single to Giovanni Soto. Leonis Martin, the center fielder, 265 batting average, has 7 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Shows bunt, looks at a strike. Martin last night 1 for 3, couple of stolen bases, also scored a run. One ball, one strike. That is hit out toward right center field. Calhoun giving chase. This one's off the wall. Martin heading to second, and he is in there.
Good job by Ibar keeping that tag on Martin as he goes in standing up. Almost went off the base. Strong throw by Calhoun into the bag. Martin is 16th double, along with 7 home runs and 5 triples. Well played by Calhoun, got it in quickly. And if his foot goes off the bag at all there, with that tag being kept on by Ibar, they can call him out.
Kinsler looks at a breaking ball for a strike. He went down swinging in the first.
Going to keep an eye on Martin at second. He likes to try to steal third base. Bury your look.
This one out to right. Then in his tracks as Calhoun makes the catch. Martin tags. The throw from Calhoun. A pretty good one, but offline. Martin with good speed, able to get to third base. 1 out.
First up, number 1, Elvis Andrews.
Calhoun tried to get himself a good throwing position. He does so. Martin, great speed. You're going to have a perfect throw. It was a high throw. You're not going to throw him out anyway.
Infield in. Here's Elvis Andrews. 1 ball, no strikes. One 0 from Vargas. Andrews fouls it back.
Mike Scioscia elects early on here to bring the infield in against Elvis Andrews. Trusting Vargas to be able to pitch inside and jam him. Reason why it's, you might think, odd with the infield in here early on, especially because you feel they're going to score some runs against Tepesh. He's made some quality pitches so far, but some pretty good swings against him.
Two 1 pitch. 2-2.
Seen so often with Andrews, that little flare in the right field. You might see Calhoun come in a step or two. Well, he does play a pretty deep right field.
Conger set up outside. It's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Down goes Andrews, 2 down.
Great pitch. Good sequence by Vargas. Paints a fastball just off the outside corner. Nice frame job. And Conger.
Here's Rios with 2 outs and a man at third. A 1-1 game. First one is outside, 1-0. Rios with the home run in the first inning, 16th of the year. 66th run batted in. One.
Boy, the outer part of the plate seems to be open against right-handed batters with Fielding and Colbreth behind the plate, calling balls and strikes.
Down and away. Martin over at third base, and Rios looks at a breaking ball that bounces. 3 balls, 1 strike. Beltre on deck.
Rios over the years has adjusted where his hands are and his approach at the plate. For a while there, especially when he was with Toronto, hands low. Or the White Sox, same thing. They made an adjustment.
Good off speed.
A bit of a toe tap to start with, just a timing mechanism for him.
Three-two. Lifted foul and out of play.
A fastball away, you wonder if he'll come now with a changeup away. Feeling back-to-back-to-back changeups. Late on a fastball.
What are you going with here?
Changeup.
3-2. And he bounced the off-speed pitch. 2-out walk, puts runners at the corners now for Beltre. Hey fans, September 22nd is Fan Appreciation Day when the Halos take on the Seattle Mariners at 12:35. Fans in attendance will receive an Angels team photo courtesy of Fox Sports West and chances to win great prizes. Purchase tickets today at the Angels Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com. 2 outs, 2 on. 1-1 tie here in the third. Vargas about to throw his 50th pitch of the afternoon. 30 have been strikes. 4 punch outs, 1 walk, and 3 hits allowed. Martin led off this inning with a double. He stands at third. On the corner. Beltre hit a fly ball out to right field that carried, but stayed in the ballpark for Cole Calhoun. That ended the first inning, so Adrian's 0 for 1. Snapped an 0 for 13 last night with his first inning RBI single. Finished the night going 1 for 4. One ball, 1 strike.
Back-to-back 88-mile-an-hour fastballs.
And the changeup has been pretty good. The breaking ball been a little bit of a struggle for him so far. Check in on him at first. Martin jockeying over third base.
He thought about going as soon as the throw was thrown to Mark Trumbo. Well, you got to feel real good about your chance of scoring if that's the case with Adrian Beltre at the plate.
Yeah. on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a good spot for his fastball. Even though it's only 87, you have Beltre looking away, back-to-back fastballs before that. Now you can throw a fastball or a changeup away against him.
Another check in at first base. Rio's not going anywhere. Two balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. Beltre takes a shot, so full count.
Well, I've been pretty patient, not chasing his changeup. He's kind of getting around his changeup. He wants that pitch to go down and away. It's going down and in. And a feel pitch. Want to stay back. 3 times in this game already for Vargas. Full counts.
Fouled back. Here's a 3-2. This is fouled off again to the right. .24 pitches thrown by Jason Vargas so far here in the 3rd inning. Leadoff double that got Kinsler to fly ball to right. That moved Martin to 3rd. Struck out Andrews before walking Rios. Rios at first base. Take off once again on this pitch. 25th of the inning. Another 3-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Beltre, and the 3rd is in the books for Texas. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Top of the order coming up for the Angels, and Chuck, Ibar, and Trout tied at 1. With Jay on right at Dan O'Toole, joined by Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson. They'll bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1. Top of the order here for the Halos. Shuck, Ibar, Trout. Nice job by Vargas. Working out of a first and third 2-out situation to get Beltre on the swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Jason, 1 walk.
Said it often about Vargas. Competes extremely well.
Yep. JB Shuck 1 for 1. A single down the right field line. Stole a base, but stranded in scoring position. Swings through that one. That's into the hole at no balls, 2 strikes. Oh, 2 on the way. That hard breaking pitch keeps throwing inside the left-handed batters.
Cutter. Trying to throw a 2-seam fastball in and a cut fastball in against lefties. Had a lot of success against them.
Off speed, got him. Fielding Colbert brings him up. Soto applies the tag, 1 down.
And that's the pitch for Tepesh. He's going to have to throw consistently against left-handed batters to be successful, and he did so. JB Shuck there, slow curveball. The 12-6 break on that pitch. And for a right-handed pitcher, especially a sinker, slider / cut fastball type pitcher, a curveball or changeup is going to be your most effective pitch to keep left-handed batters off balance.
One out, nobody on for Eric Ibar. Strikeout victim himself in the first. Oh, and 2. Tepesh has been getting ahead of the count.
Yeah, 6 times already in this game. Been ahead of the count, 0-2.
And Ibar chases that same exact pitch. 2 outs.
Number 27,
Similar approach to Shuck. Same quality pitch from Tepesh.
Trout drew a walk in the first, the only one issued by Tepesh to go with 4 strikeouts. First one's way outside. Texas with 3 hits, the Angels with 2. Lays off, but it's a strike. Tepesh being very careful with Trout. Did so in that first inning, but also had first base open. And technically speaking, still does.
Yeah,
Here in the third.
but if he does walk him, it's going to be a double before you know it with a stolen base.
This is in the air to right field. Rios giving chase, pulls up. That one's off the wall. Trout trying to get to second base. Strong throw by Rios, but it's a 2-out double for Trout, his 37th of the year.
Boy, that's some speed for Trout, too, to get a double, because Rios played that perfectly off the wall, and with his strong throwing arm made it close. This pitch is down. That's a pretty good pitcher's pitch. And Trout turns it on in the scoring position. That long patented slide head first, long distance from that base. It's in there with a double.
So man in scoring position with Josh Hamilton at the plate. Hamilton did not hold up, went around. And again, that's not that hard slider. That's that very slow breaking pitch.
Well, every once in a while, if you're Josh Hamilton, especially here today against Tepish, just look in and open up that front hip and try to drive a ball. They're staying inside against you.
This one's pulled foul, 0-2 now. Hamilton ended up rolling into a double play to end the first inning. So he's 0 for 1. Go ahead, run in scoring position with Trout at second base.
Just look inside and cheat on that pitch inside.
High fastball, fouled straight back. Andrews playing Hamilton straight up the middle. That's down and in. Trout stays at second on that ball in the dirt.
A good read by Trout. Soto did a nice job of blocking that baseball and getting up quickly to retrieve it.
One, two, and this one's flared on the third base side. Beltre moving over and losing the ball in the sun.
Well, right off the bat, Beltre was just running to an area and not pick up the baseball. I haven't any idea where that's at. It's going to a general area where you think it might be. Maybe a break here now. See if Hamilton can capitalize.
Breaking pitch out toward left center field. This one chasing Gentry back. He's tracking it, makes the catch shy of the track. And the Angels' bottom of the third is in the books. 3 complete here at the Big A. We are still tied at 1.
Today, change up to Kinsler. Another great change up there. Swing and miss from Gentry. He's had it working consistent and painting the fastball. The outside part of the plate. High change up. It's about ready to finish off the third inning. 5 strikeouts so far in the game for Jason Vargas.
57 pitches and 3 innings of work. But he'll face Baker, Soto, and Gentry here in the 4th. He's yet to have an easy 1-2-3 inning through 25 pitches into 3rd. And Baker will look at a strike. The first baseman this afternoon for Texas is 0 for 1, hit a fly ball to deep right. One ball, one strike. Two balls and a strike. Vargas not happy with himself after delivering that pitch. Up at the Coliseum in Oakland, Houston leading the A's 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Seattle leading Tampa Bay 1-0 at Safeco.
Tampa continues to struggle.
Yeah, this one over to 3rd. Romine plays the short high. 1 out.
Tough in between hop for Romine, but made a nice play on it. Come in on the baseball. Tough hop. Gets it, gathers himself. Strong throw. Get the first out. See how difficult that is, but the read and the preparation to be able to come in on that chopper. It's a nice play on it.
Giovanni Soto singled in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 1. Looks at a strike. Lays off. Count even up at 1 ball, 1 strike now. Soto, the backup catcher with A.J. Brzezinski on the roster. Acquired in a deal with the Chicago Cubs. Swings through that one, 1-2. There's AJ. Homered last night in the 9th inning off Corey Rasmus. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Soto.
I wonder if Jason's going that same exact pattern. Went fastball in when he was ahead of the count last time against Soto. Soto took it, then went back inside again with a fastball. Took it. Trying to sneak a fastball down and away.
And he misses. So full count. Quite a few of those already. Now the 3-2. Soto bouncer back up the middle. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. Soto with 2 hits tonight, both singles. Puts a man on for Craig Gentry.
Trying to catch that, throwing the glove behind the back as he falls towards 3rd. Try to that one of those plays you see every once in a while where a pitcher put the glove from behind his back and the ball finds the glove, but unable to do that one.
So Gentry, the left fielder, steps in now. Strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. Got him on an off-speed pitch away. Oh, 1. Tough guy to double up to at Gentry with his good speed. Unless it's absolutely squared up right at an infielder.
He runs very well. He's grounded into 5 double plays this season.
Fouls this one off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strike count, and that ball, I don't know if the guy was using his cup to make the catch, but there was a beverage spilled everywhere. Somewhat refreshing on a warm afternoon. There's the 1-2 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the air to right. Calhoun puts it away. 2 down. Vargas wants to do baseball with 2 outs and a man on here. Jerks and Profar coming to the plate. Halos in the bottom of the 4th inning have Calhoun, Trumbo, and Conger coming up. Face Nick Tepesh. First one's down in the dirt. Soto had a running start. Easily gets a second with a stolen base.
First stolen base of the season has been caught twice. Trying to walk in the lead. This goes. Carlton Fisk used to do that quite a bit. When you're not paying attention to him, just go.
This one popped up behind the plate. Conger giving chase. Down the room. Two balls, 2 strikes on Profar. Struck out in the 2nd. Missed inside. Full count.
Hasn't got that call at all.
No.
Fastball in against right-handed batters. This is 5th full count of the game for Jason Vargas.
3-2. Popped him up. Trout in a couple of steps, shading his eyes, and puts it away. As we head to the bottom of the 4th here at the Big A, tied at 1.
goes yard to right field. His 6th home run, 20th RBI of the season for Calhoun.
Corky, huh?
Yeah. Former Laker.
13 RBIs in his last 14 games for
And former Penn Quaker.
the aforementioned Corky.
Corky Calhoun.
Calhoun, Trumbo, and Conger for the Angels here in the 4th inning. Tepesh had a couple of strikeouts in the 3rd. He has 4 overall in the game. Home run for Calhoun in that 2nd inning, 6th of the year. First one's down low. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Tepesh so far has thrown 57 pitches. Looks like there's some action in the Rangers bullpen as Calhoun pulls one foul. And on the hands, 1 and 2. Joe Ortiz getting ready. Left-hander. Has not pitched in this series, although he did warm up Friday night. Breaking pitch. Gets it go. Swinging on that breaking ball. 1 out.
Slow curveball. On the outside part of play, great location with his curveball. Again, talked about that earlier. If Tepesh starts throwing that curveball more consistently against left-handed batters, get a chance of being very special. 5 strikeouts in the game. Yet Ron Washington has the bullpen moving.
Trumbo takes outside. Mark struck out on a breaking pitch in the 2nd inning. Two and 0. One run, 4 hits, 4 left on for Texas. 1 run, 3 hits, 3 left on for the Angels. 2 solo home runs in this one. Trumbo swings through that one, 2 and 1.
Looks like Mark's if he's going to hit one out today, it's going to have to be to center to right center field. A lot of pitches away from Tepesh against him.
Yeah, they've gotten a scouting report in the first 2 games.
Yeah, avoid that inner part of the plate.
Punches this one out to right field. That's going to get down for a hit. As you were just pointing out, he'll stay away from you. Take what's given to you.
Exactly. At some point, if you get enough hits, one pitches away, they're going to be forced to throw something inside. But that's a pretty good pitch. Ron Washington may be going to the bullpen already.
Making a slow walk out with Conger coming to the plate. Ortiz ready to go in the bullpen. So it looks like Washington is going to go to the bullpen here. Tepesh just coming off the DL on a pitch count. Kept it a 1-1 tie. We're in the 4th inning. A pitching change. Joe Ortiz coming on. With Hank Conger due up next. Last time out at 3 1/3. We touched on that a little bit ago, so it's going to be a bullpen game for the Texas Rangers with one out here in the 4th inning. Joe Ortiz takes over on the mound. Our in and out, who's in, who's out.
Ortiz fastball 88-93, slider, changeup. A lot of all-speed pitches from Ortiz. Throws less than 50% of his pitches would be fastball, so sliders and changeups. Strike throw is 8 walks, 38 innings, 38 plus innings this season.
Hank Conger will spin around to hit from the right side with Trumbo standing at first base. A 1-out single for Mark. Hank was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. No official at bat for him. Rios with a home run in the 1st inning. Calhoun with a home run in the 2nd. That's the only scoring so far in this game. First one is inside. Conger rips one into left field. That is going to get down and go for extra bases. One hopper off the fence. Ricochets back toward the field. Trumbo's going to be stopped at third base.
Conger's starting to get a better approach and better swing from the right side. His batting average over now 200 versus lefties. Part of the season really struggled. Good balance, got a pitch on the inner half and quick through his swing, turns on it, doubles down the left field line. His 13th double of the season. Nearly hit a home run. One hops the wall. Now with 2 in scoring position now. First extra base hit from the side of the plate for Hank Conger.
Infield in for Texas with 1 out. Grant Green at the plate. First one is inside. Ortiz pitching in his 28th game, has a 2-1 mark, a 3.99 ERA, 24 strikeouts and 38 in the 3rd innings. Now giving up 39 hits in those 38 in the 3rd. 13th double for Hank. Green fouls it off to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grant a fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning. He'll take that right now against Ortiz.
Tapish looking on, knowing that that's his runner at third base.
One way inside.
Well, it's never out of the realm of possibility Mike Scioscia would put a suicide squeeze on, but I don't think he's real comfortable quite yet with Grant Green in a bunting situation, although Grant Green's got a couple bunt hits. Hasn't been asked prior to comes to the Angels to bunt at all.
Now Soto's going to go out and talk things over. The game at the Coliseum is now 3-1 Oakland, bottom of the 3rd. They played a seesaw battle back and forth. First 3 games of that series. Houston took the first one. Oakland has taken the last 2. Nick Tepish and threw 63 pitches to start this one for Texas. He's responsible for the base runner at 3rd. Green pulls it over to third base. Beltre a little bit of a bobble. Trumbo's in a rundown. Doesn't matter. It's going to be the 2nd out. So Green reaching for an off-speed pitch. reaches on the fielder's choice. It'll be up to Andrew Romine.
Yeah, reaching out in front, you're ahead of the count. You expanded the zone. Instead of looking for a pitch you can get and hit in the air. Beltre wisely throws the ball right away to Soto, who runs him back to the base.
So first and third, 2 outs now, and Romine spins around to hit from the right side. Pulls this one down the left field line. That'll bring in a run. Possibly 2. Green on his way to third. Dino Ebel is going to wave him in. Andrews up and firing. Green is safe at the plate. Halos on top 3-1 as Andrew Romine delivers.
We like Romine hitting that right side. You remember he abandoned switch hitting earlier this season, batting exclusively from the left side, but goes to the right side. Big smile on his face. Drives the ball down the left field line. 2 RBI double, his second double of the season. Inner half turns on it. Scoring 2 big runs here.
Second double of the year. Now 3 runs batted in. Top of the order coming up now. J.B. Shuck, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. One-0 count on J.B. Picked up his 5th stolen base of the year in the first inning. Bouncer back toward the middle. Kinsler to his right, has it to the backhand, has no play. Romine stays at third, an infield base hit for Shuck.
Yeah, wise decision by Kinsler not to throw that baseball to first. You're not going to throw that. Shuck going down the line. Romine speed, a wide throw at first may result in the 4th run.
Mike Maddox is going to come out and pay a visit to Ortiz.
Once this got over the head of Ortiz, Shuck, he's smelling a base hit going down there hard down the line. Infield hit for J.B. Shuck. 2nd hit of the game. Continues to pile up those hits. Shuck now with 113 hits on the season.
Eric Ibar now also spins around to hit from the right side. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts today.
Yeah, how about this inning so far? 2 guys that haven't had a lot of success hitting from the right side. Hank Conger, double. Andrew Romine, double.
Yep. Ibar trying to pick up a double himself. Trout with a nice play in the on-deck circle.
He could do it all.
Yeah. He can even parallel park a train. No 1. No balls, 2 strikes. 7 hits tonight. This afternoon, I should say, for the Angels. Bad habit. Romine at third base. Shuck at first. 0-2 to Ibar. Shuck takes off, and Eric Ibar has had a rough afternoon of 3 strikeouts, but his team scores twice here in the 4th inning, and they do it on 4 hits. Big one. Romine's 2 RBI double. We've played 4, and it's 3-1 Angels. Baseball is brought to you by AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-AT&T. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. And by Toyota's nationwide clearance event. Now you can save big on every Toyota car, truck, and SUV.
Top of the fifth inning here at the Big A. 3-1. Angels on top. Jason Vargas will face 9-1-2 at Martin, Kinsler, and Andrews for the Texas Rangers. Martin doubled to lead off the third inning off the base of the wall in right center. It's been 1 for 1 today. 16th double of the year. Eventually stranded at third base. Vargas throwing his 80th pitch. That one is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Two and one. Takes another breaking ball.
Well, a lot of confidence in that pitch. 2-1 count. Breaking ball. Now you have options. Go back to a breaking ball or try to paint a fastball away.
Missed outside, a full count. He's had quite a few of those already today. So it's driven his pitch count up.
Yeah, 6 of them. Looks like it's going to be a bullpen day for both teams.
3-2 on the way. This one's ripped and off the glove of Trumbull into right field. Martin rounding first. He'll stay right there. It's a single. Second hit of the ball game. And Ian Kinsler will step up now. Oh for 2. A strikeout in the first and a fly to right in the third inning. Off the end of the bat towards second base. Green only plays to first. 1 out.
Not an easy play either, because you have Martin running, screening you as you're trying to field that baseball with that spin on the ball also. Make sure you look that all the way into the glove. Spin on the baseball. And Martin going right in front of him to distract him, but he had to keep his eye on the baseball, looked it into the glove. Perfect throw to the first. That's a great camera angle we had there to be able to see how difficult a play that was for Grant Green.
Elvis Andrews takes outside. Andrews 0 for 2, a pop up to second, and a strikeout looking. Outfield shading. Andrews the opposite way. That's punch foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Marcus got him looking last at bat. Andrews didn't like that call. See if he can paint something away again.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one's shot into center field, a base hit. Martin will come in to score, and Andrews picks up an RBI single, makes it 3-2 Angels. Trying to come inside.
Throughout this entire series, Andrews has hit everything on the inner half of the plate. His hands in, tucked in, base hit up the middle.
It's very little power to begin with, and even less going the opposite way.
I'm always a believer in when somebody's hits the ball a lot to the other way, just pitch him away and bring your right fielder in. If he hits it over your head, more power to him.
So Rios comes up now with the man at first. 1 out. Vargas about to throw his 90th pitch now.
Vargas with 3 pickoffs this year.
First one is a strike. Andrews with 35 stolen bases. Leads the Rangers. The RBI picks up his 52nd RBI. 6th hit of the afternoon against Vargas. There's 5 strikeouts, 1 walk as well. Rios with a home run. That was in the first inning, his 16th of the season. A solo shot and then a walk in the 3rd. Good off-speed pitch. No balls, 2 strikes.
These are the spots where Andrews may think in terms of Vargas throwing an off-speed pitch in the dirt. Take a shot at going here on an 0-2 pitch.
Pretty big lead for Andrews over at first. I'll check in on him again. Alexi Ogando beginning to loosen now. He's in the bullpen for Texas. Swing and a miss. Down goes Rios on the changeup. 2 outs. It's time now for a Fox Sports 1 game break. Thanks a lot, Molly. Texas has scored a run here in the 5th inning, but the Angels still on top 3-2. Elvis Anderson first base. Adrian Beltre at the plate. Beltre a fly to right and a strikeout. First one down and in. .28 home runs, 84 runs batted in for Adrian Beltre. Still making some nice plays over at third base. Error total is a little bit high this year. Usual for him.
Well, he gets a lot more baseballs than most third basemen get to, though. That's why the total up a little bit higher than normal.
Andrews takes off. Beltre fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Had a big jump. Beltre had a pretty good pitch to swing at, fouled it straight back.
So Andrews back to first. 1 ball, 1 strike on Beltre. Vargas trying to keep it a 1-run lead. Andrews again takes off. This one's outside. The throw from Conger is not a time. A stolen base, 36th of the season. The tying run now in scoring position.
Well, with that stolen base and an open base now with 2 outs, and Beltre up has had great numbers against the Angels, especially of late. I'm not giving him anything good to hit now. Good jump by Andrews. 36th stolen base. Hard tag on him. Almost knocked his hand off the base.
Hello. 88-mile-per-hour fastball, 2-2.
Maybe he was thinking the same thing. He wasn't going to give me anything good to hit. That was a fastball right down the heart of the plate.
There's the 2-2. Just off the plate. Full count. Jeff Baker, the first baseman's on deck. Texas scoring a run here in the 5th inning. Leadoff single by Martin. Got the second on a ground out by Kinsler. Scored on the Andrews single as Beltre lines with a left. JB shot, got a good jump on it, makes a catch. And the top of the 5th is in the books. Texas does score a run, but we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Trout leading things off with the Angels leading at 3-2. Reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Mike Trout ready to lead things off. Joe Ortiz still in the ball game, the lefty. Trout, Hamilton, and Calhoun for the Angels. And the first one's outside. Mike has drawn a walk and has doubled. Double off the wall in the 3rd inning was off Nick Tepish, who got the start today. 3 1/3. Gave up 2 runs, both third on 4 hits, including the home run to Calhoun. 2-0. Tepish struck out 5, walked 1. Two-0 pitch. Down and in. 3 balls, no strikes now.
And another 3-0 count. Again, Mike Scioscia certainly will give Mike Trout the green light here.
Three and 1. There's a walk. Leadoff men on board. Josh Hamilton comes to play. Fans, make sure to check out the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado that comes with an available 5.3-liter engine and offers the best V8 fuel economy of any two-wheel drive pickup. Visit your local Chevy Silverado dealer today for all the latest offers as well as details. Hamilton has rolled into a double play and hit a fly ball to the left field, so he's 0 for 2. Facing a lefty, first time today. Lays off the breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
Trout with 2 more walks today continues to lead the American League in that category with 89 on the season.
Two and out. Now the 2-0. Hamilton skies one to shallow left. Beltre going out. Gentry coming in. 1 out. So Trout remains over at first base. Cole Calhoun coming up now. Calhoun with a home run in the second. Strikeout in the fourth is the last batter that Tepesh faced.
Ortiz has not allowed a stolen base against him so far this year. Pretty quick to the plate. Good job as far as his throws over the first base also.
Two and out. Angels have some new action. Their bullpen, Juan Gutierrez, getting ready. Time was called. Cole tired of waiting. Ortiz trying to disrupt the timing of Trout over at first base. So far, he's done a nice job of it. Two balls, no strikes with 1 out. Time was called.
When Trout was going back to first also, Ortiz doing a great job as far as holding the baseball and not allowing Mike Trout to get a good read. And Alfredo Griffin going to go over and talk to Mike Trout. Alfredo's a guy, when he was playing, very good base stealer.
Big rip. Comes up empty.
Quick pitched. Both Calhoun and Trout after holding the baseball as long as he has been the previous pitches.
Trout leadoff walk to start this 5th inning. 3-1. Mark Trumbo on deck. Ogando ready to go in the bullpen.
Yeah, he pretty much will be his last batter here for Ortiz. Here, Cole. Make sure it's a pitch you can drive, otherwise look at that pitch, maybe ball 4 with 2 runners on for Trumbo. Don't expand your zone.
Pops it up. Elvis Andrews drifting out. 2 outs. So Trout still at first base with that leadoff walk. 2 fly ball outs. Ron Washington making his way out to the mound. That's going to be it for Joe Ortiz with Alexi Ogando ready to go and Trumbo due up. We have a pitching change here in the 5th inning. 2nd of the game for Ron Washington. And it comes with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Angels on top 3-2. Ogando to face Mark Trumbo here with the Angels leading at 3-2. 17th game of the season for Ogando, who has spent 3 stints on the disabled list this year with varying ailments.
Yeah, Ogando's average velocity has gone down. Prior years, average fastball around 97. This year, 93. So he's around 91 to 96. Slider and a lot more changeups. Mark Trumbo's had some pretty good success against Ogando. 6 for 15. That's a 400 batting average.
Twice on the disabled list with right shoulder inflammation. He's been on the disabled list also with right biceps tendonitis. Not a good sign when you've been on the DL 3 times as a pitcher. And twice having to do something with your shoulder. So Trumbo will step in here with Trout still at first base, and you wonder if Trout takes off here during this at bat. Mark 1 for 2, a strikeout in the 2nd inning, singled in the 4th. Firm fastball at 96. Now what we don't want to happen is a foul ball back into the booth.
No.
With Ogando and Trumbo.
No, it's not a good combination for us. Take a squared up baseball and see how far he can hit it out to center field.
Yeah, go that way.
That 470 1-foot home run yesterday. Ogando has 1 pickoff this year. He's allowed 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts.
Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
that earlier. Pretty good numbers against Lugano, 6 for 15.
A guy like Feliz that has bounced back and forth between the bullpen and the rotation.
Yeah, it's not as easy as you think it would be, because your routine has changed. When you're a starting pitcher, you have your routine as far as your throw session in between starts, your ability to run and lift. When you're out of the bullpen, that goes away, because you might be up every night, or at least throwing every day.
1-1. So we're going to miss 1 and 2.
So far in these 3 pitches, he's got the velocity back, 96, 97.
Gutierrez is still playing catch in the Angels' pen. You wonder if Vargas is done. Baker, Soto, and Gentry due up for Texas in the 6th. Foul back. Last one at 98.
Warm weather, loosened up, pretty good for him.
Trout over at first. Trumbo lifts a foul. Out of play on the first base shot.
Vargas trying to stay cool with that air conditioner in the dugout.
Big fan of that air conditioning unit.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get one of those up here.
That would help.
One, two. Foul back. That was 2 Booths. So
yeah, that went in there pretty quick too.
But I would imagine those folks, if one of them gets hit, they can absorb the blow, having already had a couple of adult beverages. This was chopped over to second. Kinsler will throw on to first. This long bottom of the 5th inning, in which 4 batters came to the plate, is now over. 5 in the books. Halos maintain a 3-2 lead.
And now it's time for the Carl's Jr. Sports Update around the majors. The Cards look to swoop on the Pirates, and they certainly did. A 3-game sweep. The Pirates win this one 9-2 today. And the Tribe tries to roll the dice versus the Mets. Daisuke Matsusaka on the hill for the Mets. The Tribe had a 4-game win streak going. They lose in the 9th as the Mets win that one 2-1.
Vargas back out of the mound here to start the 6th inning. Incredible sports update. Oakland, by the way, leading Houston now 7-1. That game is at the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's still a 1-0 game in Seattle. Rays and the M's.
Kendrys Morales with a home run.
Game's at the bottom of the 5th. Jeff Baker leading things off. First baseman looks at an off-speed pitch for a strike. Baker, Soto, and Gentry for Texas here in the 6th inning. Baker, so far today, a fly ball to right, and a ground ball to third.
.25 pitches thrown in the 3rd, 20 in the 5th.
0-2 downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
.101 pitches now thrown for Vargas. Here we are in the 6th inning.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Baker, 1 out. That game in Seattle, by the way, Matt Moore and Erasmo Ramirez.
Matt Moore's been locked in since coming back from the DL. We saw him here. A little erratic in the strike zone, but still a quality outing for Matt Moore.
Oh, the Rays are looking forward to getting home, huh? A rough road trip for them. Got swept in Oakland, split a 4-game series here. Lost the first 2 in Seattle.
I think they only go home for 3 games too, and then they go back out on the road to what, Minnesota?
And then they go back home to host Texas for 4. Soto takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Texas currently leading the wild card. Tampa Bay has a 2nd wild card spot, but Baltimore a game back, Cleveland a game back, New York 2.5 back at the start of the day.
Yeah, Baltimore lost today. Cleveland lost today.
And the Yankees won 4-3.
Mo Rivera gave up a lead again in the 9th inning against the Red Sox, but they did win the game. The Yankees on a wild pitch, walk-off wild pitch.
Give Mo the W. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He did get the win. Well, he's had a tough time. I think that's his 16th blown save in his career versus the Red Sox.
He's had a few of them this year. 2-2 now. Soto a swing and a miss. Down he goes. First time he's been retired. Soto a couple of hits now for the strikeout. 2 outs.
All of a sudden a great feel for his changeup for Vargas. The back turn as a hitter, you're not seeing the baseball till the very end. Trying to gear up for a fastball. Instead you get a changeup. I love that pause of late, last couple of innings for Vargas on the pitching rubber, throwing off the timing of the hitters.
Gentry fouls off the first one. The left fielder's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That was in the 2nd. Hit a fly ball to right in the 4th. Most pitches thrown in a game this year for Vargas, 114. He's done that a couple of times. Two-one on the way to Gentry on the corner.
We'll see if Vargas can finish off his night like Garrett Richards did last night. Punching out the side in the 7th inning. Vargas an opportunity to punch out the sides here in the 6th.
2-2 on the way. Off the end of the bat, rolled to second. Green throws to first quickly, gets the speedy Gentry. A 1-2-3 inning for Vargas. First time tonight. He has done that. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth inning. 3-2 Angels. With Jason Vargas, a very good performance.
Excellent last inning for him. 2 punch-outs and a weak ground ball out. More likely it for Vargas. Battled 8 punch-outs. Just 1 walk in 6 innings for Vargas today.
Season high in strikeouts 9, which he did June 17th against Seattle. As Conger pulls the first one just foul. With Alexio Gondo back out on the mound. Gondo came into the 5th inning with 2 outs and got Trumbo to ground out to finish off the frame. Conger, Green, and Romine for the Angels. That's the bottom third of the order. Just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Texas with a couple of runs, 6 hits, 5 left on. The Angels with 3 runs, 7 hits, 6 men left on.
Left-handed batters only hitting 200 against Gondo. Right-handed batters 294.
2-1.
Hey, what? He's had a live fastball today. Rushing up there 97, 98.
Ground ball to second. Conger looks like he is in absolute pain running up that first base line. He kept trying to stretch out the upper left leg area after that first swing, and after this last one, barely got out of the batter's box.
Even when he got hit with the pitch early in the game, didn't get down there real well. Trying to gut it out going down the line, but as soon as you get in that dugout, conversations, how's he feeling?
One out, nobody on. Grant Green at the plate. Breaking ball for a strike. Green 0 for 2. A fly ball to right and a fielder's choice and a run scored to the fourth. The Angels have Buddy Boshiers getting ready in the bullpen. Offered at it. 0-2. There's Buddy. Texas in the seventh has 8-9-1. Profar, Martin, and Kinsley. This is punched into right field. Good piece of hitting with 2 strikes here on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
He didn't try to do too much to it.
Let's go back and give you the final vote total on our AT&T Twitter poll question of the series. And Mike Maddox, Frank Zappa combination wins out with 45% of the vote.
A lot of music lovers out there, I'm guessing.
Or people with just good eyesight.
All three look exceptionally close.
Here's Andrew Romine. Takes outside. I asked Tim Salmon, or we asked him early on in the pregame show. They came up with Dean Cain, former Superman character, and he didn't seem to think that he'd looked anything like either Fred Savage from Wonder Years or Alfred E. Newman for Mad Magazine.
I thought he was a perfect lookalike for Fred Savage from the Wonder Years.
Romine fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Alfred E. Newman, yeah, kind of close. We just needed a couple freckles on him. He would have been perfect.
He did say, he goes, why? Just because I have a big head. And I said, well, Alfred E. Newman fits the bill. Those were his words, not mine. I said, well, since you brought it up. That was probably my favorite Twitter poll question of the year. This one bounces left side, diving, stopped by Andrews, fires to first, gets Romine. The hit and run was on.
Well, that's an outstanding play. You can't do anything better than what the Angels did on that hit and run. You have the shortstop covering the base. Romine hits that space vacated by Andrews. Yet he dives back. And then the strong throw to get Romine at first. I mean, he's been dealing with the back issue. Great play by Andrews.
So Green in scoring position. Andrew ground out 6-3. Now J.B. Shuck will come up and try to provide the Angels a little insurance.
I do like the thought process behind that by Mike Scioscia, putting some motion on with Grant Green. Well, that looked like it was destined to be in the outfield, and Grant Green would have been all the way over to third.
Frankie pitched down and in. J.B. Shuck with a couple of hits today. 2 singles, a stolen base. He's also punched out. Count evened up.
It'll be important for Grant Green to get a good secondary lead. Very good arms in the outfield here for the Rangers. With 2 outs, Dino Evil's going to be more aggressive.
1-2.
Especially Gentry playing extremely shallow in left field also.
Two and 2 now. The ball in the dirt. Green not going anywhere. Base hit by Grant Green. 8th hit of the afternoon for the Angels. Logano glanced back to Green. And Shuck tired of waiting, so not sure why Logano's looking back there with 2 outs and 2 strikes on the hitter.
The thing you could be thinking of is maybe trying to make sure that Grant Green doesn't get a bigger secondary lead. be able to score on a base hit by J.B. Shock.
2-2. Shock grounds with a second. Kinsler has it. And the bottom of the sixth is complete. 6 in the books here at the Big A. Angels maintaining a 3-2 lead. Combos for only $3.99 plus tax. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box today. And by Chase. Send money to almost anyone, anywhere with your smartphone. Chase, quick pay, so you can. Top of the 7th here at Angel Stadium. It is 3-2 Halos. New pitcher on for the Angels. It's the left-hander Buddy Boshears taking over for Jason Vargas. Boshears pitching in his 15th game. No record of .386 ERA. And he did pitch in this series. No, his last game was a couple of days ago, Thursday.
His fastball has been consistent around 91, 93. Good, sharp slider.
Jason Vargas this afternoon, 6 innings, 2 runs, both earned. 6 hits, including the home run to Rios in the first. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. Jurickson Profar at the plate. DH is 0 for 2 with a punch out and fly ball to center. Oh, 1 pitch. Check swing. Did not go. Jordan Baker, the first base umpire. Big, tall guy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm disagreeing with him ever on anything he calls.
He makes Trumbo look small. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Leonis Martin is on deck, the center fielder. Fell back. Michael Kahn getting ready for the Angels. Texas with action in their bullpen. Jason Frazier loosening now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Conger did stay in the game. He's behind the plate. Clearly the left leg area not bothering him. A full count. You don't want to put these guys on base.
There's a lot of speed at this part of the lineup for Texas. Texas has stolen 26 bases against the Angels this year. Only been caught stealing twice.
I'm going to say at least not via the free pass anyway. 3-2. Check swing bouncer, and Boshears has it. 1 out. And if that gets by Boshears, that's trouble.
Well played by Buddy. Had him out in front. Read that well, fielded his position. An all-important first out.
So 1 out, nobody out for Leonis Martin. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Scored a run. Both of those hits coming off of Vargas. Two balls and no strikes.
Well, this is a guy, if you're Buddy Boshears, you want to get. You have Kinsler on deck. More likely Mike Scioscia goes to the bullpen. At that point, you bring a right-handed pitcher in with Martin's speed at first if he gets on via a walk.
2-1. Two one pitch. 3-1 now.
Surprising pitcher, 2-1 breaking ball. The guy with this type of speed, you want to make sure he's up there to try to swing. You can go 2-2 breaking ball, but very difficult to get a 3-1.
And now he's walked him. So 1 out walk puts a tying run on base. Mike Scioscia's coming out, and that's going to be it for Boshears. Figure that Martin is going to be on the move at some point with his speed. Total of 32 stolen bases. Michael Kahn is coming into the ball game. Boshears done after a third of an inning. We're still in the 7th. Angels on top 3-2. With the pennant races and catch the rest of the 2013 season in HD quality. You can watch every out-of-market game live on more than 350 mobile as well as connected devices. Just visit MLB.tv today. Michael Kahn on in relief. And Kinsler coming to the plate. And Leonis Martin standing at first. 56th game for Kahn. 1-1 mark at 3.21 ERA. Pitched last night. 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Kinsler so far today 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a fly to right, and a ground out. Check in on Martin at first.
It's like we thought would be the case because of the walk with Martin's speed. The focus goes away from Kinsler for Michael Kahn, trying to keep Martin close.
Pretty good lead for Martin over at first base. Kinsler looks at a strike.
Now you have an option of a pitch out too if you're Mike Sochanel.
Oh, 1 pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Texas with solo runs in the first and 5th innings. The Angels had a solo run in the second on the Cole Calhoun home run, which at that point tied the game up at 1. The Angels struck for 2 in the 4th, took a 3-1 lead. Texas got one back in the 5th inning. That's where we stand here in the 7th. Breaking pitch hooked down the left field line. That's going to be trouble. 1 hopper into the seats. A hanging breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Kinsler picks up a double. So 2nd and 3rd with 1 out now, and Andrews coming up.
On that inner half of the plate, you cannot make a mistake to Kinsler on that part of the plate. Uppercut swing, hips are always open, can drive anything on that part of the plate and hit it well to left field. 1 hops into the stands.
Go back to Boshiers issuing a walk to Martin. 1 out, nobody on. Infield in for the Halos. Pops it up. Shallow right center field. That's going to be a tough play. Mike Trout, Cole Calhoun. Cole dives, makes the catch. Gets up, fires to the plate, and everyone is safe. What a play by Cole Calhoun as this game is tied up.
He might want to check third bases to make sure he tagged up on time.
Out of nowhere, like Superman, diving and making the grab, and the presence of mind to fire it into the plate.
But he's not even in the picture at this point. Coming from nowhere. You talk about one of the best plays you may ever see. Diving just as that baseball is going to hit the grass. And then a pretty strong throw to the plate. That is an unreal play. You talk about full extension on the dive. Cole Calhoun.
Goes as a sacrifice fly. 2 outs now. Kinsler at 3rd. Rios skies one down the right field line, disentailing toward the seats and out of play.
Make him run a little bit more while you're at it.
Exactly. So that walk does indeed come into score. It's charged to Boshiers. Rios hits one out to left center. Not very deep. Here comes Trout. He dives. He can't come up with it. Rios on his way to 2nd. He is in there, and it's 4-3 Texas.
Well, you just hope Mike Trout's okay. He's going a long way himself, going back, reading, dives. More difficult when you're diving, going across your body. That ball just hits the grass before hitting off the body of Mike Trout. Almost able to make an unbelievable play himself.
Goes as a double and an RBI for Rios. Second hit of the ball game, second RBI. Texas has struck for 2 runs here in the 7th. Lead at 4-3. Bo Shears' line is 1/3 of an inning, 1 walk, 1 run. Second run charge to Kahn, who gave up the double to Kinsler. Here's Adrian Beltre, 0 for 3, a couple of fly ball outs and a strikeout. Potentially walk Beltre to get to Moreland, who's going to be pinch hitting here. So a left-handed batter. Moreland will be pinch hitting for Baker. Interesting move. There's ball 4. So here comes Moreland to face Kahn. Halos down 4-3 now with 2 outs.
Your attention, please. Pitch hitting for Baker, number 18, Mitch Moreland.
Moreland a .241 average. 22 home runs, 57 runs batted in. Off speed pitch in for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels in the bottom of the 7th inning have Ibar, Trout, and Hamilton coming up. 2, 3, and 4. Frazier, you figure, will be coming on in relief. Ogando's got an inning in the 3rd. Baker, who got the start today, finished up going 0 for 3. Now Moreland backs out at the plate. Rios standing at second, Beltre at first. Fouled off on the third base side, headed toward the seats. 1-2. This rally starting on 1 out walk to Leonis Martin.
Well, it changes everything up because you have to be quicker to the plate. You're more apt to make a mistake on the mound because you have that type of speed. And Martin, you got to force him to swing the bat. He certainly has had some quality at bats.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is you can't give him a free pass.
Especially in a lefty-lefty situation. A lot of breaking balls against him, too. One-two from Kahn. Moreland fouls it off again at the third base side. Another 1-2. That's down and in. It gets by Conger. So wild pitch advances Rios to third and Beltre to second.
Fastball gets by Conger, allowing both runners now to get into scoring position.
This one's popped up again to shallow left center field. Trout's got this one shading his eyes. And it is seventh inning stretch time here at the Big A. Texas scores twice. They lead it 4-3. New pitcher on for the Texas Rangers. Jason Frazier, who's on the mound, taking over for Alexio Gondo, who ended up going an inning and a third. He has a new first baseman as Mitch Moreland stays in the game after pinch hitting in the top of the inning. Frazier on the season, 4-2 mark, a 2.59 ERA. This is his 51st game and his second appearance of the series. Pitched last night, 1/3 of an inning. And in that 1/3 of an inning, had all zeros.
Yeah, 44 strikeouts and 41 2/3 innings pitched this season in those 50 games so far. Fastball 90-94, slider, split finger fastball.
Got Eric Ivar to pop out last night to the third baseman Adrian Beltre. Eric Ivar will lead things off here in the seventh, followed by Mike Trout and then Josh Hamilton. Rough afternoon for Eric Ibar so far. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Moreland playing basically on the bag at first base. Beltre in on the grass at third. Eric looks at a strike. One ball, one strike. Frazier in his first season as a member of the Texas Rangers. Originally in the Tigers system. Been in the Dodgers system, but had a name for himself with the Blue Jays. This was bounced over to third, or second, I should say, backhanded by Kinsler. There's the first out. So 1 out early on, and Mike Trout coming up.
Gibbs has been pretty busy at second base. 5 ground balls hit to him. Only 1 he was able to turn a double play.
Trout on base 3 times, 2 walks and a double. Takes outside.
Look at their batting leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera still leading at 353, but Mike Trout getting closer, 339. Joe Mauer, who we'll see tomorrow in Minnesota, 324.
Cabrera's been dealing with that lower abdomen issue, 2 for his last 14.
Trout on base all 3 times, a double with 2 walks today. Lays off that split finger fastball from Frazier.
Two balls, no strikes. Hamilton on deck. There's a strike. Skies this one out to right. Rios moving over, shading his eyes. 2 outs. So with Josh Hamilton coming up, Neil Kotz, the lefty, had been warming up for Texas, and we're going to have ourselves a pitching change here in the 7th inning. Washington making the call to the bullpen. We are going to step away here with the Halos trailing this one by the score of 4-3. Cox getting his warm-up pitches on here. Looking to pitch in his 46th game. He's done a nice job since being picked up by Texas. 5-2 record, a 1.17 ERA.
Fastball 90-95, slider, cut fastball. Rate ERA 1.17.
Hamilton 0 for 3 today with a double play ball and a couple of fly balls to left. This big rip comes up empty. 0-1 count. Oh, 2. Lifted softly. The third base side. This one headed toward the seats. Long run for Gentry, but runs out of room. Still at no balls and 2 strikes. Halos down by a run here in the 7th. 0-2 pitch. This is a little looper over to third, and the inning comes to an end. The Halos go down in order. 7 complete. 4-3. Texas leads it.
And by 76, we're on the driver's side.
Top of the 8th inning here at the Big A. Halos trail it by a run. It's 4-3 Texas. Dane De La Rosa has been summoned from the bullpen to pitch this 8th inning. Dane has gotten a lot of work out of the pen this year. He will be taking on a couple of pinch hitters. Ducci will be pinch hitting for Soto, and Brzezinski has come out to the on deck circle. He'll be pinch hitting for Gentry, with Profar to follow those 2 guys.
We're going with some left-handed pitchers versus De La Rosa. Lefty's only hitting .212 against De La Rosa this season.
De La Rosa delivers a strike. Giovanni Soto ends up going 2 for 3 today. A couple of singles and a strikeout for him. Third time we've seen Adducci pinch hitting in this series. 1 ball, 1 strike. De La Rosa falls behind here, 2-1. Try to keep this as close as possible. Give yourself a chance with 6 outs to play.
Yeah, you got plenty of opportunity to come back, but you got to keep that 1-run deficit. And Joe Nathan lurking down in the bullpen eventually here for the Rangers.
Three balls and a strike on Adducci, playing in just his 6th big league game this year. Foul back, full count. Buddy Boshears went 1/3 of an inning, gave up a run. Michael Kahn 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run. Texas scoring twice in the 7th to retake the lead. Now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Adducci, 1 out.
An all-important first out. Got back at the count. Look at a swing and miss. De La Rosa. Brzezinski always up there looking first pitch fastball. Make sure you locate this fastball well for De La Rosa.
.281, 17 home runs, 61 runs batted in. Homered in the 9th last night. Swings the first one, fouls it back. What were you saying about first pitch?
You know he's looking to try to turn right away on a fastball.
Fouls it back, 0-2.
And with that open stance he has, he's looking for something on the inner half, middle in. He will occasionally hit a ball well to left center field, but that's a ball middle of the plate that he's going to hit. He doesn't have as much coverage on the outside part of the plate. And will chase breaking pitches in the dirt too.
And down goes Brzezinski. Back-to-back strikeouts for De La Rosa. 2 outs.
Goes change up. Swing and miss. He's upstairs. Located away.
Profar the DH 0 for 3. Strikeout, a fly ball to center, to bounce it back to the mound. That was the one batter that Boshears did retire, the 2. Count even up now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Halos in the bottom of the 8th inning. Have Calhoun, Trumbo, and Conger due up. Tanner Sheppers is getting ready. One and 2.
And you wonder if Ron Washington will leave Kotz in to face Calhoun and then go to Sheppers.
Now the 1-2. downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leonis Martin on deck. De La Rosa, third reliever, used by Mike Scioscia. Jason Vargas went 6 innings, 2 runs. No decision for him. 8 strikeouts. Profar takes ball 3, full count. Halos have had just 1, 1, 2, 3 inning. That was the 6th inning for Jason. His last. Profar takes a call, strike 3, and De La Rosa picks up the second. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Halos down by a run. Our Hyundai key to the game.
That glove in an elevator. If the Angels are able to come back and win this game, this is going to be the key play of the game for the Angels. Calhoun came from nowhere to make an unbelievable catch on Elvis Andrus back in the 7th. What a key play to prevent a bigger inning for the Rangers. The Angels come back and win it. That will be the key play of the game.
Calhoun looks at a strike. Meducci stays in the game. He's in left. Przinski stays in the game. He's behind the plate. Both pinch hitting in the 8th inning. Both striking out. Calhoun, Trumbo, and Conger for the Halos here in the 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cole this afternoon, 1 for 3. Homer back in the 2nd. Two and 1. Fowler out of play. Count even up now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cots came in the 7th inning with 2 outs and nobody on, and got Hamilton in a little soft liner to Beltre to end that inning. Two. Full count.
Good patience so far. Trying to get on base for Trumbo. At that point, you'll probably see Ron Washington go down to the bullpen.
There's the payoff pitch. And that is ripped out to right field. Rios moving back, pulls up. That is off the wall. Calhoun's going to try to stretch it into a double. He is in there safely.
Boy, what a game Calhoun has had. And the fans showing their appreciation. A home run, double off the wall. One of the best catches you'll see all season long. Jumps on that fastball from Kotz. Aggressive, challenging Rios, who played that well off the wall, but a high throw allows Calhoun to get in with a double. Fourth double of the season. Second extra base hit of the game.
Ron Washington making the slow track out, pulling Kotz. We got ourselves a pitching change. We are in the 8th. The Halos down by a run. Calhoun is his responsibility. And Tanner Shepard, Mission Viejo product. He's home there. He's done a nice job this year, although he's struggled here of late over the last couple of outings.
Yeah, fastball 95 to 99 range. Slider, changeup. Dana Hills High School versus Villa Park High School here. This matchup. Trumbo versus Shepard.
Trumbo today 1 for 3, had a single in the 4th inning. On deck, tying run at second base. Nobody out. There's the first one. Swing and a miss. Fastball down and away. Ground ball to the right side. Kinsler has it. 1 out.
Productive out, though, by Trumbo. Gets the ball to the right side of the infield. Advances Calhoun to third base. Looking for a base hit, but if you're not getting a hit, it's a job well done, and he's going to get some high fives from the guys in the dugout for advancing Calhoun to third. The walk Conger here.
And Grant Green on deck.
The pitch to bring the infield in.
Yep. Hank hit by a pitch, a double with a run scored, and a ground out. First one's a strike on the inside corner. They've been pitching Conger in off the plate.
Conger looking for a pitch that can get hit in the air deep enough into the outfield to score Calhoun.
No balls, 2 strikes. Coming back inside. One almost hits him. Jackknifes out of the way. 1-2. Shepard's pretty firm with his fastball.
Imagine going to go back inside again. This point for Hancock, a little flare into the outfield, especially with the infield in.
Now the 1-2. And he strikes him out. 2 down. So leadoff double, moved to third on the ground down still. Standing at third base. And Grant Green coming to the plate. Grant Green 1 for 3 with a single. Oh, 1.
The last batter gets Uganda with a good fastball away. Hit it well in the right field in an 0-2 count.
Set up back inside. This is out to center field. Going back on it is Martin. Tracking it. Beginning to come to an end. So the Angels waste a leadoff double by Cole Calhoun. We will head to the 9th. Still down by a run. In the bottom of the 8th inning, but unable to capitalize. So it stays 4-3 Rangers, and Juan Gutierrez takes over on the mound. He does so for Dane De La Rosa. Dane had a 1-2-3 8th inning with 3 strikeouts. And Gutierrez here in the 9th inning will be facing Martin, Kinsler, and Andrews. That's 9-1-2.
Gutierrez just got to get back to that commanding of the strike zone. Dane De La Rosa did an outstanding job. 3 punch outs in his 1 inning. More now for Gutierrez to keep it 1-run deficit. Been a struggle though when you look at it for the Angels out of the bullpen against Texas this season though. Prior to that inning there from De La Rosa, team ERA for the bullpen out of the against the Rangers this year, a little over 7.05 with his 1 save and 7 save opportunities. That's been an issue against the Rangers this season. It's been solid, the bullpen, but Texas has been tough.
Leonis Martin to lead things off. Joe Nathan getting ready for Texas. The bottom of the 9th inning. Halos will have 9-1-2 themselves. Martin tonight, 2 for 2 this afternoon. Double, a single, and a walk. 2 runs scored. Romine playing in at third. Trumbo doing the same at first base. Count leave it up now to ball at a strike. Gutierrez has been battling a sore shoulder. Pitched in Tuesday's game against the Rays, went 1 2/3 innings, giving up a run on 2 hits. He's down at it. 2 balls at a strike. Gutierrez in his last plate appearance drew the walk with 1 out against Buddy Boshears and eventually came around to score the tying run. Bouncer to the left side. Backhanded by Trumbo. Feeds Gutierrez. 1 out. Just play.
Tough hop. Good feed over to Gutierrez for Mark Trumbo. Right in on the backhand. Almost scoop it. Showing good range. And then a good feed leading Gutierrez going towards the base. Perfect feed to lead him.
Here's Ian Kinsler, the leadoff man. It's at a 1 for 4 game with a double. First one in for a strike. One ball, 1 strike. Tanner Shepard goes 1 inning, has 1 strikeout. Nathan will be coming on to the bottom of the ninth. Romine, Shuck, and Ibar face Nathan. One of those guys gets on base. And Trout making an opportunity. 2-1 now.
That's got to be your goal is the lineup. 9-1-2 is making sure that Trout gets an opportunity to swing the bat.
Two.
Good spot. Go right back to the exact same spot.
Elvis Andrus is on deck. Inside, full count. Overthrowing a fastball there. Down 3-2. Breaking pitch, got him looking. Down goes Kinsler, 2 down.
Slider away, just slightly off the outside corner. A number of those pitches, only 1 pitch was on the inside part of the plate, and that was off the inside corner. Everything else away. Best place to get Kinsler out.
So nobody on with 2 outs, and here is Elvis Andrus. 1 for 3, 2 runs batted in. Tied things up with that sac fly and that terrific diving catch that Cole Calhoun made. Shallow right center field. The infield playing back, it's an easy play for Grant Green, and perhaps you keep the runner at third. But infield was in with one out. Strike 0-2.
We're just reflecting on that play by Cole Calhoun. Just at our camera, I mean, you didn't even see him part of the picture. And he came flying in from nowhere to dive and make an unbelievable play. Reason why this is only a one-run deficit at this point.
Andrews shoots one into right field. Two-strike approach, picks up his second hit.
Yeah, he can hit that elevated fastball that's away hard. Down, not so much. Now a stolen base threat. And I believe he's going to be going first or second pitch, the latest.
Alex Rios batting in the third spot this afternoon. He has a couple of hits, a home run and a double, 2 runs batted in. It was Rios' double that went off the glove of a diving Mike Trout, allowed the go-ahead run to come across in the 7th. Andrews takes off, pitch out is on, and Carter cannot handle it. It's a stolen base. Second of the afternoon for Andrews. Third in the game for Texas.
Conger getting out. And the transfer unable to get a handle of the baseball. Socha read it well. Put the pitch out on, anticipating Andrews going early.
Ball and a strike now on Rios. One pitch. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Rios. And we will head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Halos have 9-1-2 coming up to face Joe Nathan down by a run. Be sure to stick around after the last down. Angels Live post-game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Tim Sandler and I will break it all down for you as quickly as possible because the Angels are jumping on the bird and heading to Minneapolis tonight to play the makeup game tomorrow against the Twins. But still work to be done here in the ninth inning. Joe Nathan, the closer, takes over on the mound from Tanner Scheppers, who went 1 inning and had 1 strikeout. 58th game. 38 saves and 40 opportunities to this year.
Yeah, fastball still good, but not as firm as it used to be, but locates it well. 90-94, very good slider and curveball. Been one of the most consistent closers over the last decade or so.
Andrew Romine ready to lead things off. He'll be followed by J.B. Shuck and then Eric Ibar. 3 left-handed batters for the Angels. Romine today 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI double back in the 4th. At that point, he put the Angels up 3-1. This is a little looper at the shallow center. Martin was playing in, makes the catch, 1 out.
Well, good speed and a good read by Martin playing shallow. Off the bat, I thought that had a real good chance of landing in the outfield grass for a leadoff single.
So 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's J.B. Shuck. 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. This is just the second game in September that Nathan has worked. One ball, no strikes. Tepesh got the start, went 3 1/3, gave up 2 runs. Ortiz an inning and a third, he gave up a run. And Ogando for an inning and a third. Frazier 2/3, Kotz 1/3, Scheppers 1. Now Nathan, as he falls behind on Shuck at 2 balls, no strikes. Two and 1. JB taking the whole way. Two-one pitch. And a looper down the left field line, slicing, fouled out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eric Ibar on deck. And if we get a little bit further, Trout will get an opportunity. This one's fouled off again into the seats.
Just trying to find a way to get on base.
Another 2-2. Shuck hits one in the air to right center. Rios moving over. Droughts. So the Angels down to the last out here. They've been very quiet since that 4th inning. Really going back to the last innings, the one that should have capitalized on with Cole Calhoun. Picking up a leadoff double against a tough lefty and Neil Kotz, but eventually stranded at third base.
Yeah, that was an impressive at bat by Cole Calhoun.
So Ibar up 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts and a ground out. Moreland again at first base, guarding the line, pretty much just on the bag at first. Trout on deck. Moves out of the way of that pitch. That's one you got to wear.
Yeah,
breaking
ball. You want to get Trout up at the plate.
Beltran on the grass at third base. The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 on the way. Ibar pops it up. Shallow left. Elvis Andrews drifting out. And Texas takes the finale of this 3-game set. 4-3 the final.
Yeah, Texas able to come back and win the game with a big 2-run seventh. Now lead this one-out walk against Buddy Brashears, and all of a sudden they were able to come back. Texas Rangers wins the final game of this series, although the Angels win the series 2-1, 4-3 Rangers. Coming up next, Angels Live, Victor Rojas, Tim Salmon will break it all down for you as the Angels have a pretty solid homestand.